Hello everyone, I hope you're taking it easy and your day has been great thus far. For this video we'll be going through a unboxing of Spider-Man set 76226, and this is out of the Marvel Spider-Man subline, released by LEGO in Q3 of 2022. So some time ago when I did the unboxing for I Am Groot, if I remember correctly, I hinted at the end of that video that there were some potentially upcoming Spider-Man based sets, and at the point in time it was still a bit of a rumor then. I hadn't seen definitive information, but to my surprise, I went to my local retail store that I usually get all my Lego at, and lo and behold, Spider-Man, Miles Morales, Venom, all there, bit early. I cursed a little bit and then I moved on with life. So here we are doing the unboxings of those. So I'll stagger them out because I am on the downhill on the Lego content, so they won't be back to back, they'll just be spread out and stuck in between my existing content. So here we have the first of the three with Spider-Man himself. I thought we'd just start with Spider-Man. I think numerically Miles Morales is actually the first of the three, but it's okay. So, front of the box, Spider-Man. So these particular sets are supposed to be continuing the Iron Man and I Am Groot theme, but instead of upping the price point, it's actually lowering the price point, to the point that these three were actually cheaper than Iron Man, who is cheaper than Groot. Go figure. So they will be a little bit more simplified, but I think they are trying to move into this humanoid mecha genre. So here we are. And to be honest, if this is an indication of what it will be like, I think it has some good degree of potential. That is the front of the box with Spider-Man. Not too much on the actual side of the box, although in saying that, top of the box does have a one-to-one of what I suspect will be the faceplate. So that's pretty much it in terms of interesting parts of the front and sides. In terms of the back though, we do have another shot of Spider-Man, this time in a standing pose, in his iconic web shooter hand pose. And unlike the mech armors, I think this particular type of posing just works better. The scale is there, the general form and feel is there, so I think it will be a nice little refreshing change from the mech armors to be able to do some of this at this scale. It will also encourage me to actually do Iron Man and Groot sometime in the future. Now, unfortunately, Spider-Man is a tabby. I have seen a few tricks to try and get around it, but I have not prepared myself to do so, so maybe another time. So now that we've had a look at the exterior box, I will crack this open and we'll have a look at inside, and I suspect probably a manual. I'm going to assume there will be a sticker sheet. I'm going to say at most 3 bags, which may include the accessories. Guess we'll find out in a minute. And with everything out of the box, I was actually right. There was 3 bags, with my assumption being that the 3rd bag would be accessories. So we will have a look at those in a minute. So they're decent sized bags, but I think once again it's a case of oversized bags with a bit of an oversized box to provide a illusion of size. So here we have the front of the manual for the Spider-Man human figure, I guess. The manual has gone into that very simplified look, which is to be expected, but that is a very nice shot of the Spider-Man set, so definitely can't complain. And on the back, usual product feedback. So first few pages are the usual Lego preamble. So bag number 1 will build his main body and his upper legs. Bag number 2, head, arms and lower legs. And I'm assuming bag number 3, which will be the accessories, will come into play then. So away we go on bag number 1. Now, bit of a disadvantage because I haven't done Groot and Iron Man yet, so I don't know how similar some of those instructions will be. Probably the same with Arashem, actually. That's probably another Lego humanoid set worth doing when I don't bang the camera mount. Maybe if I move over a bit more. We should be coming... Okay, we're almost there at the end of bag number 1. That's one upper leg. That's the second upper leg. So 57 steps for bag number 1. Bag number 2 will start at step 58. I guess we can go through. I will mention the progress bar at the bottom is just that single solo brick piece, which is okay. I guess it was probably better to standardize versus having a minifig or someone for each particular booklet. So at step 80 we have a good amount of Spider-Man done. It looks pretty good. Going into the 90s, and I think this will probably be the other foot, which it is. So mid-90s looks like we're going into the arms. The 100s, still on the arms by looks. Late 110s, there's definitely a hand. Yep. Into the 120s, we're still doing another hand. Got some shoulders to add on, and then lastly to do the head. So that's at least step 136. Oh, still a few more steps, mainly for his webbing. Looks like 140. So 140 steps to do Spider-Man, which is a respectable number, especially between 2 bags. And in terms of the form, it does look pretty good. Given he is supposed to be more humanoid looking and not mechanical looking, I think they've done quite well in capturing the more the humanoid curvature as opposed to, you know, very hard-edged mechanical bodies and limbs. So the final Spider-Man, in terms of the other figures, as I mentioned at the beginning, so there's Spider-Man, Miles Morales and Venom. I do expect Spider-Man and Miles Morales to have a decent amount of overlap. Hopefully there will be something slightly different, maybe the legs possibly. I guess we'll find out in time. Venom should be a bit different between the 2 of them, and I will do the unboxing of him last. So in terms of the next Lego content, expect Miles Morales, unless for some bizarre reason I do something else. So those will be the 3 Spider-Man Lego sets coming up in the near future. Parts list. So that was the manual. No stickers, by the way, surprisingly enough. So bag number 1 in all its goodness. So lots of blue and red. There is one small bag in there, which is to be expected. So as we know, this will pretty much do the torso and the upper legs. There's at least one item that is already pre-painted, which is pretty cool. I'm sure there's another one there as well. In fact, there it is. You can somewhat catch it. So that's bag number 1. It's not a huge bag, but it's a respectable number of bricks and pieces. Bag number 1. Bag number 2. Definitely a lot of red. English grammar. there is, I would say, once again, another small bag inside. We do have Spider-Man's head there as well, which I will say has been quite well done in terms of detailing. It looks very solidly and readily identifiable as Spider-Man. And we do have some other bricks that have also been pre-printed with the design. That's actually kind of cool. Like some of them, honestly, they could have been stickers, so I don't know if it was just easier to do that. Is it part of Lego's initiative to move away from sticker sheets where possible? Who knows? Still haven't seen my first instance of a paper bag yet, but I do know it's coming. So that's bag number 2. And lastly, bag number 3, which is the accessories. We have probably seen these accessories many a time, mostly through the mech armors, and I think through some of the Spider-Man sets in the past. Obviously for the mech armors and things like that, they weren't terribly oversized, but I think for this particular set these will end up being the perfect size ratio, so that'll be cool. And Spider-Man being Spider-Man, these are more in your general flat white. So that brings us to an end of the unboxing of the Spider-Man figure set. Looks very interesting. I think Lego have once again done quite well at creating some of these figure type characters, especially given that, from what I loosely recall of Iron Man and Groot, they have definitely simplified it. So obviously they're trying to reach out to a broader market with some of these fan favorite characters, and I'm hoping they will do more. In fact, maybe this will end up replacing the mech armors, which, to be honest, is probably not going to happen. The mech armors are half the price point of these, and I actually half expect the store I got them from may actually further reduce the price a little bit more. It's not uncommon. It has happened to me a few times when I've picked up brand new sets from them, and then within a week they've dropped by $4 or $5. Optimus Prime was probably a bit of a shift where he dropped $25 between me ordering him and when he was updated a few days later. So it depends if you're willing to wait. I think for these kits you can probably wait a bit. They're not going to be discontinued in the next few weeks, let alone months. Just might have to wait a little bit longer for general demand if they do fly off the shelf. But yes, Spider-Man, 2 more to go, and as I mentioned at the beginning of the video, they'll be sprinkled throughout my other content. Thank you very much for watching this video. Feel free to leave a like, a comment, subscribe if you enjoyed the content. All of this does help support the channel, and I do greatly appreciate it. Extra shout out to my subscriber base. Thank you very much for your continued support. And I definitely do appreciate all of you sticking around and staying with me as I keep expanding the content. At least that's the objective anyway. Speaking of content, extra content can also be found on my Instagram account, link below. Stay safe and take care, and I will catch you all in the next video. See ya.